connection points. It's just another form of divide and control. Originally, you know, none of us are actually, this is planet Kicrystal, you know, like, that's not my name. My name's Sharon from Australia, you know, like, that's me in this lifetime. But who have we been in other lifetimes? And we all bleed the same, you know. And many of us have been oppressed for lifetimes, and it doesn't matter what colour we are. Weren't necessarily that colour in a past life. Yes, we know everything, yet we know nothing, don't we? But and creating real connection with other people, it's kind of hard in this lifetime because everybody looks at you like you're sus. Maybe you are, maybe we are, but there's no need for like jealousy of other people or where people are on their paths. It's just acceptance of what is. Smarter than your enemies. Now they know you're not the one. Yeah, because I'm no one's enemy. Forgiveness, love, acceptance, yes. Now, I call in my spiritual guides, my spiritual team, to provide messages to my collective, and I just wanted to say I am super stoked to see that it's growing, and I'm still not ready for comments or and the ones that I have accidentally left the comments on, you know, like I've had arrogance coming through, and it's like, that's cool. I don't expect to be accepted by everyone, nor do I care about people trying to, you know, mess with me. Oh my gosh. Full moon last week, a church, a group, Pharisees. They were Pharisees. No, they weren't. They were standing at my door, and the man had his hands behind his back, and I was immediately like, oh, this isn't nice. Like, I just remember being a child and opening my door up to the Jehovah's Witnesses, looking at me holding a Bible in her hand going, "You're going to hell." And I was like, so frightened. And I ended up crying about it, and I got protected by the adults in the house, of course. Opened the door up again. Jehovah's Witnesses is on the full moon. I didn't actually think that the people responsible for all the spell working, I really did not think that they were Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm kind of apologising because I'm like, I believe in Jesus too, Christ consciousness. Like, it is a beautiful state, and the message that gets put forward by him, like I've changed my opinion. It's evolved. You know, grew up in a Catholic environment. He was able to command demons out of people. His power was immense. He fed 5,000 people with 2 loaves and 2 fishes. I'll admit, I don't read the Bible just because it has been washed. It goes back. We are so much older than we ever knew, you know. Really surprised these people were doing it. They were standing at my front door. I immediately took measures, called on the divine God, Jesus Christ himself, protect me from these Pharisees. You know, what are they doing at my door? So they had to make contact with me because all other months, all other moon cycles, I'm surprised they did it. I mean, it wasn't the because I said to them at the time, any energy sent to me, kind or whatever, is yours, straight back to you. And if it's only goodness, then that's all you'd ever receive back from me. I could go out there creating enemies, not purposely. Although I do like to stand up for myself. I do like to stand up for the rights of people, and I will call out. I will call stuff out. Like, yeah, I'm not going to change on that stance. When the full moon was happening, I went out onto my balcony and the people were standing out on the corner. Cut to video. I do have better footage, but I have blurred it for the purposes of protecting the identities of whoever is actually standing out there in the corner, which I'm, happy to hand over to authorities because I've had enough. Footage that I have of them standing on the corner looking like they were up to something. Congregation around one gentleman who was speaking to them that are former Jehovah's Witnesses that are prepared to say a lot about the spell work, the bigotry, the abuse, the taking advantage of people. A declaration of anyone that doesn't actually know that they need to protect themselves from the do-gooders. I like to think of myself as a do-gooder, but I've been listening to Ram Dass, and he's pointed out that if I need to help someone, anyway, that's it. That's a subject for another time. If you're not out there doing good, or you think putting a stop to one person is going to save face, or I'm not out there doing any harm to Jehovah's Witnesses. It really surprised me that they would turn up at my door. And I abide by the law of one, which is do no harm. Because I do no harm can come against me. I'm not out there actively hurting people or have malice intent to do so. I appreciate the apology. You kind of came up to the front door and apologised to me before you went and did what you were doing, while your husband stood there and hid his hands behind his back. It was nefarious. I could tell. Pulls out tarot cards, pulls out her connection with her spiritual self. And we're all entitled to have that. I'm sure you have that too. Were these people up to no good? Let's pull a card on it. These old hags were so jealous of this earth angel. If they had a bright red poison apple, they would have handed it straight over. I think that kind of says it. That's just from a random group of cards. I just pulled one. I'll pull one more. That thing you don't want anybody to know about you. Do not miss out on this lifetime hiding behind shame. I'm just an intergalactic warrior here to free those stuck in a false construct. Yeah, you guys were up to no good. And I can't imagine what the blowback has been on you, your families, how life looks for you every time you get up in the morning. Just be good people. Just be good people. Okay? And expect good things, and good things will come to you. Don't. The worst part is, diamonds get made under pressure, blah, 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 but, I'm allowed to feel some of the effects of what's being sent, so I know what's happening. Poisoning people's minds against another is the same. Gossip, manipulation, it's all the same. Black magic returned. Black magic, religious magic, whatever you guys were up to. It's bad news. And you're doing it with a whole lot of power behind you. And piecing it together, the gang stalking, all the spiritual warfare that I have been under since I arrived, since I came forward into form. We fight not against flesh and blood, we fight against powers and principalities. And you guys were standing on my corner on the full moon. I think that just undoes all of the magic you've ever put forward to anyone who's not out there to harm you. If powers and principalities are breaking down, it's not one individual that you've got to come up against. It's Mother Kai, it's our earth. She's raising in vibration. All that's been done in the dark will come to the light, and that's unstoppable. Your energy. Whoever's watching this that has nothing to do with those people, I'm just exposing the reality of what we're facing from religious people. I'm still perplexed by the whole situation. I still find it pretty confusing, but 2 + 2 = 4. Doesn't equal 5. It doesn't, like, honestly, I have not had one of those people knock at my front door since I was 9 years old, and I was so young. I was 9, 19. That's when all my stories come from, because I don't know. I guess that's completion. That's alchemy. But it could have been 7. Could have been any number. But the lady turned up at my door and told me I was going to hell, and I was like, the lady was really sweet about it the other day, but I guess they were damning me to the same place. Maybe that's where I come from. Maybe I walk with the light in the dark. Actually, I know I do. I've come into balance. And balance is a good place to be. It's not lying to yourself about who you are. It's not lying to anybody else about who you are. It's coming forward and just being straight out. Don't make an earth angel cry. And there are many of us that are crying, that have been forced to tears. And you can see blocks getting put up in their way. These are not individuals that you want to do that to, especially if you're aware, if you're spiritually aware. I'm just perplexed. How could you possibly think that your God's stronger than my God when God is God? Boundaries. Yeah, boundaries enacted. Okay. Any information that would be beneficial to anybody watching? Cramps in hands. Magnesium deficiency, cramps anywhere in your body, possible magnesium deficiency. Definitely get the levels checked by a professional. Hostile work environment. I guess we've all kind of experienced that in the spiritual sense, because there's a lot of people that are spiritually woke that are trying to hold position, and you can see it. There's some nefarious people that you could be watching on these platforms. If somebody's getting shadow banned, they're probably the ones to watch, because Five of Cups, 3 spilt out, 2 still standing there, with the cities in the background, and people are holding their positions, and quite seriously too. Like, if you're going back to a reader because you want to hear that your ex wants to make up with you and wants to do it right this time, you're dreaming. He would have done it right in the first place. Like, people don't change. Someone told me that you can't change a man after 40. But why would you want to change anybody? You do though. You do. You get hold of him, you love him, but you're like, just if he was nice, or just if, there's always going to be a just if. And, the prospect of getting old with a couple of cats, I don't think women are really as opposed to it as they used to be. The inequality in marriage is pretty ridiculous. I think of a woman's worth, really, and this goes to all women, the maid of the house, plus everything else, the organizer, the women are just invaluable. Women, I don't know, I just respect, mutual respect. As I've said before, what's happened to the Isis and the Osiris relationship picture, I've learned so much that in a divine partnership that's all you'd settle for, Otherwise, ham it with a cat, broken-hearted or not. actually, that came out upside down. So yeah, not brokenhearted about hanging out with a cat on your own, especially some of us, the spiritual ones of us that have been oppressed by it. The confusing thing is, you think, oh, it's the Jehovah's Witnesses now. Were they responsible for all that gang stalking and attacking and blah, blah? No, they weren't. Like, it's actually come from a wide, vast range of people, but what it is, well, they're powers and principalities. Basically, they're demons that have been assigned, and they will be able to come into anybody's body who's not sovereign and isn't aware that they're being taken over. So you've got to really put up your protections, especially if you're walking in Empress energy. The gods and the goddesses are walking the earth at the moment and have been truly oppressed since children have gone through all sorts of atrocities. And Jesus Christ, I believe, does walk amongst us and has done, locked up in mental hospitals, you know? Like, we're not waiting for his return. He's already here. We can choose heaven or hell, and hell is just a construct. What did I hear? There is no hell. It's just the absence of God. And there is no cold, it's just the absence of heat, which is true. Everything's fine down there in the cold. Let's clear away all that negative energy. Got a bell. Let's make up a couple of words. Ancestral wisdom. Your ancestors fiercely protect you. Okay, what am I saying? I've got boggle. Boggles the mind. And we dip home. We dip home. We pie. Moo. Poo. Alright. I'll practice that. Possibly before pulling those out again. Should be able to get a big word, shouldn't I? Moo, poo. They were there. Before tarot and after tarot? Okay. So let's do it like this. Before the spell work on the full moon, how were we all travelling? Them and me. Ten of Wands. So we'd all kind of had enough already. The sun was shining. Okay, so that's the before tarot. Let's go. And that was the sun. Yeah, so we're all doing fine. And then poverty, ruin in the after tarot. They've sent off their bird into what looks like, they're not even blue waters. I've sent off mine to my defense, you know, like, oh gosh, coming in quick with an arrow. Lovers, the Chariot, strength, love for self, the Hermit. Looks like there's going to be a lover who's a hermit, coming in quick. He's got his arrow coming in to help the Queen of Cups with her big cup of love. And who's behind it? The King of Cups, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? The Fool, off on a new journey. Oh my gosh, I've got a love story. One of you out there is stepping into a magical phase. Oh, be aware though, the cults, the Empress, High Priestess, the Magician. The Emperor. just make sure it is your wish fulfillment rather than more empty cups to look at, because you get sent people that are not there for good reason. I think the world is turning on that though, and that's why possibly many women are actually happy to be alone with cats, and a man being able to come home to a clean house and makeup done. Like, I did used to want to do my makeup and want to feel pretty but for ironic reasons. Like, today probably wasn't a great day to do my message because I'm alchemizing a lot of emotion myself. Soul ties, reunions, cut all soul ties, lack, doubts, messages, dreams. Messages are coming to you through your dreams at the moment. So alchemy, ancestor guides. So you're probably going through a really healing transformation of your own currently. Avoidance, stalemate, masculine, truth, expression, chemistry, passion, rebirth. I wish you all the best. It's an external party, higher self-activation, nurture, compassion. Yeah, somebody is going to get there. Isis-Osiris coupling. But there is a spy watching, waiting for you to be expecting that. Past, lack, suffering, higher self-activation regardless. These people put projections on you to prevent you from the freedom, actually taking the lead and grabbing your opportunities with both hands and receiving openly, because they have just been waiting. Guilt, sabotage. They have just been waiting for you to have a love reading. You just had to keep popping up. Maybe it's not real. It's not real anyway. Look, there's no one in my vicinity. Is there anyone in your vicinity that it could be relating to? Toxicity bound patterns. Yeah, like, just really put your spiritual senses on. Ask your guides. Ask for clarity. Like, you saw the clarity that I got. Out of a bunch of cards, I asked for clarity on what those people were doing at my front door and what they were doing outside, and they would have handed me a poison apple if they could have. I mean, study your Akashic, calling back all of your soul fragments, call back your empire, call back your divine gifts. The work, decharging the feelings, the pain, by actually feeling it. That's what most of us don't want to do, and we try to, avoid it. Present, abundant, gratitude. Yeah, you've got to be present with those emotions and really follow them through. Oh, it can be a really dark place to be in. The actual healing of ourselves. But it doesn't always have to be tears and devastation, but we've got to acknowledge that there's going to be a fair bit, and it's how we deal with it. Going through and feeling these emotions means that we're not taking it out on other people. I probably wouldn't have people standing out front of my house trying to throw nefarious stuff at me if they'd gone within and healed themselves. Like, when you don't have religion to hide within, it's only you and God and, the rest of your spiritual beliefs. But the idea that we could go do that to an innocent person, and then, there must be some reason they think I'm not innocent, clearly, and then go back into normal life and expect not to stub your toe somewhere. Because, I have been affected by this ish for way too long. It's not right. The reasons, the nefarious reasons for doing it need to be uncovered. It needs to be revealed. Like, what's the go? what is the go? Last time when I delved really deeply into, I was getting this mother and son team kind of ganged up on me, I guess. I don't know. It was just a guy I rejected quite publicly for good reason. I could feel him in my energy, and he was trying, like, he was trying to zap it. Like, I just back off politely. And he was like, oh, powerful words. And I'm like, no. And he thought I just wanted to be asked out on a date. And I was like, no, I just don't want to stroke your ego. Like, you thinking that I want to be with you, but I don't. Like, pretty happy in a loveless situation, you know, like, alone. But what kind of got uncovered there was like it ran deep. The people that they got involved in a sex cult, children hidden under the stairs was messages that I was getting directly. Like, I call that thing you don't want anyone to know about you. Do not miss out on this lifetime hiding behind shame. Hi, I'm just an intergalactic warrior here to free those stuck in a false construct. Maybe I'm stuck in a false construct, yeah, because it's all really confusing. But it's meant to be confusing when you're under spiritual attack. I mean, it's not like you can know where it's coming from. What you need to do is zoom out with me now, and don't get too caught up on being spiritually attacked. Don't get frustrated by it. What I found in the last couple of months was I was really having people trying to pull on my energies and to try to make me angry about something. I can get angry all on my own. I don't need anybody else to try to upset me. And when you actually see it being done as the observer, you're in control of your emotions. Like, it's up to you. Say, go listen to that song, any of the songs by the church. The churches have got some groups, and some of them will bring you to tears. One thing I really, really respect about the church that I went to as a Catholic, they played I Love You, I'm Sorry, Please Forgive Me. They played the Ho'oponopono song while we were going up to and eating the body and the blood of Christ. Sorry. I am forever sorry for eating your body and blood and thinking that that was a good thing to do. I was actually really excited to try the wine in grade 3. But you know what else happened to me in grade 3? Got attacked by a demonic presence. And we can say that demons don't exist. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And are some of them good? Yeah. Yes, some of them are. Are some of them real bad, on mission, here to hurt you? Yeah. Yeah, they are. What will always be upheld, though, and what the demons are required to uphold, and I guess, you know, many of them will work for bidding, but not the ones that have primordial relationships with individuals. I would just like to point that out. And I go back to that Hecate tribe that is out there breaking women's hearts. I think it's terrible. Like, do better. Do better. You picked the wrong one here, because all I did was put the phone down and go, I expected better. You know, because I did expect better behaviour. But wasted way too much time worrying about that rubbish. It's all just toxicity. Let go of trying to hurt people and just be your best selves. From the Dalai Lama. Hey, do you reckon the Dalai Lama was just messing with us when he asked that kid to give him a kiss on the lips? Like, just like mentally playing with not only that child but the world at large, because he was just pointing out something that everybody's pretending doesn't exist, or I don't know, just putting it out there.
Apologies for my very slow reading that I put forward there. I just wanted to express that when you are dealing with, spiritual warfare, spiritual attacks, clearly what was sent to me at my home that day was a death to whatever was good in my life. And that has been happening. I sow the seeds in my life, and each full moon, the seeds have been torn up. Anything sown, my crops have been destroyed. And this has been going on for a really long time. I'm not alone. I'm not the only one on the planet that is being attacked like this, that is being trapped in ridiculous situations, unable to move forward. Where the need and the will is strong, I'll never give up. I might get sad, I might have a cry, I might strike out at the situation, I might feel frustrated, but I will never give up. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My family is everything to me. Those that I mean something to are. Everybody else, much love, forgiveness. I just hope we can all move through this and all be living better lives. Forgiveness to everybody for everything. Like, what else can you do? We're going to live in hatred, we're going to live in fear, going to get all bitter and angry, twisted up over it. No, I've just got to face what's happened and just keep moving. But I'm getting played with, and I have been getting played with for 15 to 20 years, and then for 20 years before that, as it turns out. But we will prevail. There's no giving up here.